Let's take a closer look at the anatomy of the human breast. It's an incredibly complex structure, and today we're going to peel it back layer by layer to really understand its brilliant design. I mean, from the outside, it seems pretty simple, right? But have you ever stopped and wondered what's really going on in there? What are all the different parts, and how do they all manage to work together so perfectly? Well, that's what we're here for. Let's dive in. So here's our game plan for today. We'll kick things off with a quick overview, then check out the external landscape, move to the inner framework, look at the glands that actually make the milk, trace the network that transports it, and then, finally, we'll put all the pieces of the puzzle together. Okay, let's get our tour started. Before we jump into all the individual parts, we really need to get a handle on the fundamental biological purpose of the breast. So at its very core, the breast is a mammary gland. Its primary biological function is lactation, which is, the production of milk. And everything we're about to see, every single component, is designed to support this one amazing purpose. We're going to start our exploration from the outside and work our way in. We'll begin with the features we're all familiar with. Think of them as the major landmarks on our anatomical map. All right, so on the surface, we see three key features all working in concert. You've got the nipple, which is the final exit point for milk. Surrounding that is the areola, and then covering the whole thing is the skin, which acts as a protective outer layer for all the complex machinery that's tucked away inside. Okay, now for the really cool part. We're going to move past the surface and peel back that first layer to see exactly what gives the breast its shape and provides all of its structural support. Now, what's so fascinating in here is this partnership between two very different types of tissue. On one hand, you have adipose tissue, that's fat, which gives the breast most of its volume and that soft consistency. But then, weaving all through it, you have these suspensory ligaments, which are strong, fibrous bands that provide all the structure. And this is just the perfect way to think about what they do. While the fat is providing all the soft volume, these ligaments are like a natural, built-in scaffolding. They hold everything up and attach the breast tissue to the chest wall. It's really a perfect balance of softness and strength. So now that we get the framework, let's go even deeper, right into the functional core of the breast. This is the specialized tissue that's responsible for that primary mission we talked about, milk production. And this whole glandular system isn't just one big blob of tissue. Oh no, it's highly organized. Each breast actually contains about 15 to 20 main sections of this tissue, and each of these sections is called a lobe. And there's this beautiful hierarchy at play here. It's kind of like a branching tree. You start with those 15 to 20 lobes. Then inside each of those lobes, you find smaller clusters called lobules. And if you zoom in even further, inside each lobule are the alveoli, these tiny grape-like sacs. And this is where the magic happens. Yep, that's really the best way to describe them. These tiny little alveoli are the milk-producing factories. When they're stimulated by hormones, these microscopic structures just pull nutrients from the blood and synthesize them into milk. It's like an incredibly efficient microscopic manufacturing plant. So, the factories are up and running, milk is being produced, but how does it get from those millions of tiny alveoli all the way to the nipple? Well, that brings us to the next critical component, the transportation network. So the product has been made. Now it needs to get to the consumer, right? This is the final leg of the journey, a dedicated transportation system designed for one thing and one thing only, delivery. And that is the duct system. Milk travels from the lobules through what are called lactiferous ducts. You can picture them like little streams all flowing into a bigger river. Then, just behind the nipple, these ducts widen out into the lactiferous sinus, which kind of acts as a small reservoir before the milk finally exits through the nipple pores. So you can totally picture it as this intricate highway system. All the roads, or in this case, all the ducts, are collecting the product from the factories and leading them to one central distribution hub, the nipple. Okay, for our final section, let's zoom all the way back out. We've looked at all the individual parts, so now let's assemble them and see the complete picture of how they all form one cohesive, functional unit. In this table just pulls it all together perfectly, doesn't it? You've got the adipose tissue providing the soft cushioning and shape, the suspensory ligaments acting as the internal scaffolding, the lobules and alveoli are little production factories, and the lactiferous ducts serve as the highway system for transport. See? Every single part has a very clear role. And finally, where does this whole incredible structure even sit? Well, it rests right on top of the pectoralis major muscle. This large chest muscle provides the flat, stable foundation for the entire complex gland we've just spent our time exploring. When you look at it all together, it's just an intricate design where every single part has a purpose. From those supportive ligaments all the way down to the microscopic, milk-producing alveoli, nothing is wasted. It is a truly remarkable example of biological engineering. And that really brings us to one last fascinating question. We've explored the anatomical blueprint, right? But this structure isn't static. Not at all. It's incredibly dynamic. So how does this system adapt and change through puberty, pregnancy, and aging? Well, that's a story all about physiology. And that's a topic for another day.